been a tough year for the Las Vegas Raiders. There's no dancing around that clear observation, especially when you consider this team is not playing up to its standards. And I know in the comment section we're going to get people that are talking about, it is McDaniel's fault. And to a degree, I do believe that as well. However, I think that there are also players that need to take their jobs as leaders and younger players on this roster more seriously. And with that, I think there are 5 players. There are 5 that need to step up for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, some of these might be controversial. Some of them, might be a little bit of, like no duh. But at the same time, you gotta, when you are a coach, when you're an NFL player and you are expected to do big things and you're just not getting it done, there's nowhere to look except in the mirror. And I think it all starts with, quarterback Derek Carr. Now, I'll give him the slight pass in the fact that, yes, his offensive line hasn't exactly been amazing. Like Colton Miller has been kind of a disappointment. You look at, Dylan Parham, who I think has actually been pretty positive, as well as Andre James. But, that right guard spot still really needs sorted out there. Munford has showed some things, but overall, as a unit, it's been tough at times. And Derek Carr, I'll give him that slight pass. But you have all these weapons. You have a top, I would say, 3 running game. I mean, it's probably 1 at this point because Josh Jacobs just continues to get it done, and you are playing the way that you are. Now, again, I know that it doesn't make life easy when you have to put up 30 points a game, but to put up a straight 0 against the Saints, it's just, I don't even have words for it. So Derek Carr has got to step up. He's got to be able to put his team in more of a position to succeed. Think about it. He has better weapons. The offensive line, I would argue, is better this year than it was last year. So he's got better weapons. He's got a better offensive line. He needs to step up and continue to lead this team and being the more effective player on this roster. He needs to be, even if he doesn't throw 4 touchdowns a game, he still needs to find ways to get his team into the end zone so that way they can put up points against, especially some of these other teams in division, whether it's the Chiefs, the Broncos, or the Chargers for that matter. Player number 2 that needs to step up. This one might be controversial. Davante Adams. Yes, I know this man has had a couple of big games for the Raiders so far, but 1 catch for 3 yards. Now, again, I'm going to rewind here for a second. I know a lot of that goes down to coaching. A lot of that goes down to scheming, scheming guys open, screen passes, whatever. But you were targeted multiple times. You are a guy that was brought in to do a lot of different things and really to, I would say, blow up this offense. And Davante Adams, I think that, yes, he does have the excuse, and hey, the coaches may not be putting him in the best position to be successful, but you're a leader on this team. You're expected to be able to say, hey, get me the ball. I don't care. I mean, honestly, it feels like Josh McDaniels and them, have maybe been lacking in that regard, but, I feel like they're receptive to hearing guys like Davante Adams, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, out on some of these things. Davante Adams and Derek Carr, they need to get more on the same page because 1 catch for 3 yards and not putting up any points against the Saints is unacceptable. Player number 3 that needs to step up, defensive end Chandler Jones. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you have half a sack through the first 7 games of the NFL season. Just not great. Not great. This man was expected to come in and do some major things for the Raiders, and I get it. Yes, you and Max Crosby are going to be 2 guys, public enemies, number 1A and 1B for opposing NFL offenses. I understand all that, but the fact that you have had 1 sack, you have not generated a lot of pressure, and continue to be such a huge cap hit on this team, it's baffling to me. So Chandler Jones and company, it's not even really just Chandler Jones, probably all edge rushers except Max Crosby, who's been an absolute animal thus far through the NFL season. Chandler Jones needs to step up. I need to see this man getting at least a sack throughout every game for the rest of the year. Otherwise, I don't know. There needs to be a trade option. Maybe I would trade him for a 7th round pick and a tuna fish sandwich at this point because, man, it's just been rough. He hasn't gotten a lot of pressure, has not gotten home, and to this point, I don't think he's been worth the investment that the Raiders went out and signed him for. Player number 4 that I think needs to step up. Rookie defensive tackle Neil Farrell Jr. Excuse me. I always have a tough time with his name. But the point is the fact that, so you trade away Jonathan Hankins. You have 2 guys on the inside in Bilal Nichols, whether it's Vickers, Bilal Nichols, also Matthew Butler is the rookie that I've seen a lot of good things out of. But Neil Farrell Jr., with the trading of Jonathan Hankins, this is a prime opportunity for you to be able to step up and really reclaim your role as a prominent defensive tackle on this defense. I think he's better in the run game than a lot of people give him credit for, and I really truly believe that he could be a huge part of this defensive line for the Raiders. I think that he's going to be a huge building piece. There's a reason they drafted this guy in the 4th round. Yes, you're going to have some developmental things. You're going to have some things that you're going to have to get better at every single day. He's probably not going to be a double-digit type sack guy every single year. Maybe lucky to get 5 sacks a year, but he's going to be a run stuffer, a guy that gets after the ball carrier, takes up double teams, and really makes everybody else's life easier. So Neil Farrell Jr., this isn't because he hasn't been playing well. It's because I think he's going to get a little bit more run. We saw it to a degree with the Saints. I think he had like 3 tackles, so we're seeing him get a little bit more opportunities. He needs to be able to step up and really become the part of this defense that we know he can be. Player number 5, the final player here, linebacker Davante Diablo. Now, I know you're probably thinking some of those secondary guys, Nate Hobbs, Tre'von Moore, who's kind of had a down year, but I expect him to bounce back. But Davante Diablo, I don't care that you are leading the team in tackles. I don't care. Not even in the slightest, because when you were getting beat in pass coverage, now again, I'll extend the olive branch. He's been better over the last couple of games, but Davante Diablo needs to be a lot better for this Las Vegas Raiders defense, because we need the guy that's going to go fly around, make plays, going to get in there on sacks. And I know they have him out on coverage. I understand all that, but I need more pass breakups. I need more interceptions. I need you to completely blanket dudes and take them out of the game. He is too talented to be playing this way. He needs to be flying around, making more plays, and just being that leader on the defense that we know he can. He's uber athletic. He's got all the size in the world that you want to be that, that hybrid, Swift's Army knife play that you want him to be. He could be a really special player. He needs to step up if the Raiders want to take a huge step forward this year, especially on defense, because it hasn't been great. Like, when you have all this talent on offense, you put up 0 points and you allow 20, just get shut out 24-0 against the Saints. It's not pretty. But Davante Diablo, I think, can definitely bounce back. We've seen some better things from him over the last couple of games, but we need to see some of that, more of that playmaker mentality. But that's it. Those are our 5 players that we think need to step up for the Las Vegas Raiders. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes as I punch my microphone. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about the 5 players, 5 that we think need to step up for the Las Vegas Raiders.